What's up, everybody of YouTube? This is Hidden Angel Lionheart coming to you again live with a brand new deck, $30 budget video of the new branded Albaz structure deck. And last video that will be up right after this, or before this, whichever decides to load up first. This is basically the new structure deck that you can get 3 of for 30 bucks. That is very budget friendly, competitive, literally budget friendly, competitive. But and again, once again, as I said in the last video, also shout out to Simply Unlucky for the 12 structure decks I pre-ordered months ahead of time. And I hope he sees this video because I actually enjoy his videos. He's freaking hilarious. He's really good with his stuff, very good with his content. If you guys don't know who he is, I will have to link his channel in my video for you guys to check him out because he's a heck of a dude and he's really good at what he does. So once again, shout out to Simply Unlucky. Oh, baby, Kaiba! I had to do the voice. I'm sorry. But anyway, yes, I'm going to be shutting up right now, and I'm going to be getting right into the deck video. And also, you only play, as a heads up, 5 of the tokens because, yeah, there's the one trap that runs the tokens. So you only run one of the traps. But then again, this deck only runs 5 traps, believe it or not. This is just the budget-friendly version of this. I am considering making the competitive version of this, but I need to get with my buddy Caleb. Again, shout out to Caleb when he watches this video. Hopefully you watch this, my dude, or I am going to kick you in the groins. Later note. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now, so we're gonna get straight into the video. But $30 for this. So for right now, we are playing 3 of the new Tri-Brigade Mercurier. Basically, what he does is he's the hand trap. If you control a Fallen of Albaz fusion monster, you basically are keeping it from being, I believe, quick effect. Yeah, you negate the effects of a card that would be targeting your Fallen of Albaz fusion monsters, and then the last effect also does state, you can then banish this card also from field or graveyard to basically return a Fallen of Albaz, I believe, to your hand. I just read this card. How the frick did I forget? Okay, you can add from your deck to your hand with Fallen of Albaz. So he basically not only protects your Fallen of Albaz fusion monsters, he also makes sure that you are protected. So he is your protection and searches out the Fallen of Albaz. Very good card to have. And then we have 1 of 3 Spriggan Kits. And basically what she does is if you control Fallen of Albaz on the field, you can special summon it from hand to field. And also, if it's either normal or special summoned, I believe the effect does go to state. And excuse me if I'm burping a lot, it is the Mango Pepsi. Yeah, if it is normal or special summoned, you can add you can add from your deck to your hand one of your branded spell or trap cards from deck to hand. So it searches out all of the spells that you would need if you don't open with the branded spell or trap card. Or no, most importantly, the most important spell card of the deck is Branded Bond. So if you don't open with Branded Bond and you have her in hand, that searches out Branded Bond. So therefore, you're going to guaranteed get it 99.99% of the time. And then we also run 3. I'm considering running this at either 1 or 2, but I think 3 is actually a good. 3 of the Golden Soul Soul. When your monster, or well, yeah, when your opponent is attacking any of your Albaz fusion monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand to destroy the attacking monster. And also for its secondary effect, if a monster, if a monster is banished also, except during the damage step, you can also banish this card from your field or graveyard to then special summon 1 light spellcaster type. So once again, as I said in the last video, if you're running Dogmatica Engine, which this deck does have 1 Dogmatica card, but you don't really necessarily have to run it. I mean, you can, but I've actually ordered, pausing for a minute, I actually bought and probably invested maybe 40 bucks into some of the Dogmatica Engine. So I'm actually waiting for like maybe 12 different cards coming in right now for the most part, and I'm actually going to see if I can bash in Dogmatica and Albaz together, since Despia is like $100, $150 set, and I really don't have that extra money at the moment. And maybe when I do, I'll consider getting it. But I'm going to be very particular and specific with the cards that I get for that deck because I love the Despia deck. I love how it ran. I love its variant and how it works and runs. So, yeah, it's very good. All right, and 3 of the man himself. 3 Fallen of Albaz. He is basically a free super poly of the deck. When he is normal or special summon, discard a card from hand to target monster on your opponent's field to therefore steal it for your own fusion summon. He is the, hi, I'm going to break your board and summon my monsters, which basically gets you into a free Mirror Jade if your opponent is running heavy extra deck cards. So, yeah, that is one way to look at it. And then we only run 1 of the 1 Albion, which he basically is treated as Fallen of Albaz when he's in the graveyard or on the field. And he has 1 of 2 effects. If he is in your hand, special summon this card. If he's added... Okay. Yeah, his effects actually confuse me a little bit. If this card is actually in your hand or in the graveyard, it is treated as Fallen of Albaz. And then you can activate 1 of his effects, which, of course, if he's in your hand, you can special summon this card. But if he's added from the deck, place this card on the bottom of the deck, and if placed a card from him, you draw 1 card. Okay, yeah, so you're basically returning him back to the deck to basically get an extra draw, which it's actually whatever. And of course, you gotta love your hand traps. We run 3 of the Ghost Ogre because it's Ghost Ogre. For those of you that do and do not know what Ghost Ogre does, I'm going to be honest right here. I get some of these hand traps confused. The Ghost Ogre, Ghost Bell, and Ash. Ash basically just stops special summons and searches. Ash stops from searching and sending cards from deck to graveyard and adding cards from deck to hand. Ghost Ogre is the one that says, when an opponent's field when a monster of field activates its effect, when a spell or trap card is already face up on the field, activate its effect. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the field or field to the graveyard to destroy that card. Wait, what? This isn't... Wow. Okay, so they basically tweaked it to where its effect can activate if it's on the field also. That is freaking crazy. So, in other words, this card stops spell or trap cards that's already face up on the field that activate their effects, and you basically send Ghost Ogre from either hand or field to the graveyard to stop it and cancel it out completely. That is freaking ridiculous. Okay, and then 3 Effect Veiler. This card is very generic and very specific. All she does is when your opponent, during your main phase of your opponent's turn, you basically discard Effect Veiler to stop the effects of your opponent's monster by target. And then we run 3 of the Keeper of Dragon Magic. What he basically does is when he is normal or special summoned, you discard a card from your hand to add any card that lists Polymerization or any fusion card to begin with. So you're basically discarding a card to add Branded Bond. Again, this is the Branded Searcher along with Kit. So those 2, like I said, this is a 99.999% chance you're always going to end up with Branded Bond in your hand. If you don't draw into it, or if you draw either Kit or Keeper of Dragon Magic, you're immediately going to get Branded Bond, which is nice. And then we run 2 of the Artifact Scythe. When this card is special summoned from the graveyard to the field, which of course is why you run 3, highly preferred, back to the fronts, you basically special summon it from the graveyard to lock your opponent out of their extra deck. So, for the most part, yeah, this deck basically says, hi, I'm going to screw with you. But yes, this is it for the monsters. I only run, I think it's like maybe 24 or 26 monsters in this deck. I think it's 24 because I took out a couple cards. Yeah, I was running Summoner Monks because I took advice from Sam, which was probably not a good idea because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Sam does a great job with his videos, but his card choices are sometimes very questionable, and Summoner Monk is, like, not really that great, honestly. But yeah, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, of course, you numero uno run 3 Branded Fusion. Very self-explanatory. Red Eyes Fusion on crack. Literally. Like, you guys want that Red Eyes Fusion? No. Let's do Branded Bond. This is the good, legit crap. Legit good crack. But yeah, you're sending cards from either your hand, field, or deck to the graveyard to fusion summon into a very bonkers fusion monster. So therefore, again, as I said, this is Red Eyes Fusion on crack. minus the part where you are not limited to special summon more than one monster this turn. So, yeah, Konami's going to be banning that real soon, I assure you. Because this is probably this is without a doubt the most ridiculous and retarded spell card they have ever made in the game. Besides Lightning Storm and Chicken Game. Because Chicken Game Exodia was such a stupid deck. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, yeah, 3 branded fusion, and then you're running 2 of the branded loss. This is Magical Meltdown for all of your fusion monsters, and when you fusion summon a monster that lists Fallen of Albaz in a card context, you can actually add Fallen of Albaz from deck to hand. So it not only protects your fusion monsters with their fusion effects, but when you special summon them, you search your deck for a Fallen of Albaz, which is actually not bad. Then I run 2 branded white, which is also another card that helps you search, or not search, but special summon your fusion monsters. So again, this card runs 5 polys, technically 8 if you want to include freaking Fallen of Albaz, because he is his own super poly. So this deck is running basically 8 fusion cards regardless. And then 1 of the branded bond, because if you have special summon one of the Fallen of Albaz that is banished in your banished zone. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, that is banished in your hand or in your graveyard during the end phase. If this card is in your graveyard, because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen of Albaz, this card, you can therefore basically bang it back from the graveyard and set it, which makes sense, of course. Then you have 3 Dark Ruler No More. Basically, it is Forbidden Droplet, minus the fact you don't discard cards to cancel out effects, but and decrease attack, but it just basically nukes your opponent's board to where they can't do anything. They can't respond or activate any monster effects. They can't activate their back row, or if they got it's basically Dark Ruler No More is basically King Kale Yuga on steroids for that whole solid turn. Like, bruh, I just hit the field. You can't respond to this. Like, try me, brother. But if you do, it'll be like infinite impermanence. Like, I activate this. No. I Ash Blossom. No. I Ghost Ogre. No. Like, it just says no. It is basically Nope Penguin. Like, on steroids. Like, bruh. Of course, generic 1 Called by the Grave, because if your opponent Ash Blossoms, Max Seas, which that card is still banned unless you play Master Duel, which I got a real funny story for that later. And yeah, I do need to do a new deck profile video on that one deck. But anyway, yes, Call by the Graves just basically stops any cards that would be sent to the graveyard that have a graveyard effect. You activate this to basically banish that card from the graveyard so its effects don't get off. And of course, 1 Gold Sarcophagus, which basically ditches any card from your deck to the banish zone. You get it back in 2 turns. So this is basically different dimension capsule with no side twists or anything to it. So, I'm losing my cards. Anyway, yeah, that is that, and I'm actually glad I did the structure deck video because my brain is a little more sharper, and I know what everything is going on. And then, like I said, we only run 5 traps, so we only run 3 back to the front, which is basically a Monster Reborn for you. And again, this with Scythe is the ultimate, without question combo for sure. And then you run 1 of the branded Retribution and 1 of the branded Sword. Sword, basically, you banish branded Stellar Trap cards to get tokens on the field, and branded Retribution protects your monsters from being bounced and just destroys the card that would bounce them. So yeah, that is that, and those are those cards. So I think this is, like I said, 42 or 44. And I wasn't trying to take shots at Sam for those of you that are heavy Team Samurai X fans. And don't get me wrong, I love his videos, but he has some very interesting card tech choices. But then again, I can't really complain because I have that same issue where I just run some really weird stuff. But anyway, yeah. For the fusions, of course, and this one was very particular because, again, Sam pointed out something with a couple of the fusion monsters, but I'm trying to keep it to a variant to where you can play a little bit of everything and not just focus on mainly one card besides well, of course you're going to be focusing around the Mirror Jade and the Lubellion, but besides those, the other cards that you add in are just like, I'm debatable. And of course, 3 of the Mirror Jade, of course. Again, he's the nuke. If he's sent to the graveyard from an opponent's card effect, you basically nuke their whole field. and therefore it can only be fusion summoned with Fallen of Albaz and one Synchro Fusion Xyz or any Link monster. So therefore, again, as I said, if you have Fallen of Albaz in your hand, this helps you get that card out quicker, especially if your opponent is playing a heavy, like, Code Talker deck, Synchro deck, Xyz deck, like Sharks, Utopia, Frogs, etc., etc. And then you also run 3 of Lubellion the Searing Dragon. When he is on the field, you're able to discard a card to fusion summon a monster, a level 8 fusion monster, from your hand, field, or... well, basically, yeah. Hand, field, or banished, or graveyard, return them to the deck, and basically fusion summon a monster. That way you can activate the effect of that once per turn, which is actually very freaking crazy, in my opinion. And then you run 3 of the... and also, if I forgot to mention a couple effects, again, you guys see my structure deck video, you're going to hear me explain the effects, and considering I struggled for the most part. Then we're running 3 of the Albion, the Branded Dragon. I actually kind of forget what he does. He takes 1 Fallen of Albaz of any 1 light monster, and since this deck is a perfect variant of dark and light cards, getting him out on the field is actually not that hard. If this card is fusion summoned, you can fusion summon another level 8 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck except Albion the Branded Dragon. Go figure. By banishing fusion monsters mentioned on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard during your end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn due to a card effect, you can add to your hand or set 1 branded spell or trap card from your deck. So it searches out a branded spell or trap card when it's in the graveyard and immediately has you set it. And again, that's a once per turn effect. And then we run 2 of the Bridegram, the Glory Dragons, which is actually really nice. And then his effect also says, Fallen of Albaz, once again, then 1 level 8 or higher monsters. So since you're running basically fusion monsters, you're only going to be needing, like, mainly your fusion cards, unless you can get, like, Dramaturge or Maximus, etc., etc., the Dogmatic or the Despia higher monster engine in the deck, which I am actually still waiting on, as I said earlier. But anyway, his effect states cannot be destroyed by battle while you control the fusion summoned. While you control this fusion summoned card. Wait, what? Cannot be destroyed by battle while you control the fusion summoned card. That's... oh, okay. So basically, if you control... okay, that confuses me right there. I'm not even going to try and explain that. Your opponent cannot target cannot target other monsters you control with monster effects. This basic... oh, okay. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add to your hand or special summon a Tri-Brigade monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck. So basically, you can either special summon Fallen of Albaz or a Tri-Brigade Mercurier, which would actually make sense because, again, Mercurier has that effect where it protects your monster or searches. So, yeah. Then we run 2 of the Titaniclad, which, again, takes a level 8 monster, I think, if memory serves me right. Actually, no way. It just takes a monster with 2,500 or more attack points. So, again, Fallen of Albaz plus if your opponent controls a monster with more than 2,500 attack points. Like Blue Eyes, Dark Magician. Haha, that would be great. So, yeah. Gains attack points to the combine... basically, it combines the attack points of the 2 monsters that were used to fusion summon it, or one of the 2, I believe it is, because I don't think... gains attack equal to the combined original levels of the monsters used for its fusion summon. Times... oh, okay, yeah. If it gained the attack points of both monsters, that'd be too freaking overpowered. Titaniclad basically gains attack points based on the levels of the 2 monsters used to fuse it. So if you confused one of the level 8 monsters with Fallen of Albaz, that's a 1,200 point power boost, so that would take him from 25 to 3,700 attack points, which is actually not bad. Or if you played Egyptian Gods, holy crap, could you see a monster with a level 10 with a level 4, and then 100 times 14, 100 times 14, I believe, would be like, yeah, 1,400. That's Actually, no, 1600. I'm sorry. Egyptian gods are level 12 monsters. I'm sorry. 1600. That would take Titaniclad over 4000. So that's like a 4K beat stick to like say, hi, I'm going to hurt you like for half of your life points. Wait, what? It just happened. So yeah, there is that. And then okay, after this card is fusion summoned for the rest of the turn, it is unaffected by the activated effects of any other monsters you special summoned from the extra deck. Oh, okay, so he's basically effect immune for the turn. And then during the end phase, if Titaniclad was sent to the graveyard this turn or is in the graveyard, you can special summon a Dogmatica or Fallen of Albaz monster from your deck. So, yeah, Dogmatica engine is definitely really good to run with this deck for sure. And then we run 2 of the Sprint the Iron Dash Dragon. Now, this is the card Sam considered running at 3, which, again, as you can see, I ran pretty much 2 of everything else except for Albion, Mirror Jade, and Lubelia, because they're kind of like your 3 bigger, better monsters. But Ironclad is actually, or Iron Dash, I mean, is the better one. It's basically one Fallen of Albaz takes 1 effect monster that was special summoned this turn. So, say for instance, you special summon Kit or Mercurier, you could use Fallen of Albaz to fuse with them, or one of the monsters your opponent just special summoned that was in effect, like Fusion, Xyz, etc., etc., etc. During the main phase, you can move this card. Oh, you can move this card you control to another of your main monster zones. Then you can destroy all other face-up cards your opponent. You can destroy all other face-up cards in the card's column. Oh, okay. So this is basically like Mech Knights. If you control so many cards in a certain column, you can special summon that card from hand to field. So, yeah, this is basically Mech Knight like kind of thing. So that made me think of that to better well understand this. Then you can destroy all the cards in the same column, yada yada yada. And then during the end phase, if this card was sent to the graveyard because of this turn, you can add to your hand or special summon a Spriggans monster or a Fallen of Albaz from your deck. So therefore, you got a card special summon Spriggans, you got a card special summoning Dogmaticas, you got card special summoning Fallen of Albaz. Like, this deck is actually not bad at all. Like, okay. So, since I'm still kind of understanding the deck, I'm not going to explain any of the combos for right now for the most part. If you guys would like to see me do a video explaining the combos and everything to the deck once I got it all figured out with Caleb, I will be more than happy to do that for you guys if you would like for me to do that. But yeah, this is the Fallen of Albaz structure deck, and this is the side deck option I put together with some stuff I also decided to add into it. But once I decide to figure out what version of this deck I want to play, I will happily do a video on that, and I will actually even explain a combo. I will actually explain the combos in that video as well. So, if you guys would like to see me do a more competitive version of Fallen of Albaz with whatever engine or engines I decide to throw into this deck, which is actually very good and very promising for the most part, since you have everything literally for your branded cards and Albaz support. Yeah. Anyway, side deck is basically Chaos Levineer, your 2 Kaijus, Monster Reborn, Branch, and this is actually a very good old continuous spell card that works extremely well with fusion decks. If you guys don't know what this card does, basically when fusion monsters are on the field, when your fusion monsters are on the field destroyed by battle or card effects and sent to the graveyard, you are allowed to target one of the fusion materials in the graveyard used for its fusion summon, and yeah, you basically get to special summon it. So if you special summoned like Spriggan, Iron Dash, or Albion, Mirror Jade, it gets sent to the graveyard or destroyed, you can bring back one of the cards that was used for its fusion summon. So therefore, if you have Fallen of Albaz, you can bring back Fallen of Albaz. If you used Mercurier, you can bring back Mercurier. If you use Scythe, you can bring back Scythe. So, this card is basically a constant Monster Reborn for your fusion monsters, which is actually really, really nice for those of you that did and did not know that about this card. I would highly 100,000% and times infinity percent, get this card if you're running fusion decks, because this card does wonders. I'm not going to lie. Then you also run the One Foolish Burial, 2 Lure of Darkness, another Branded Bond, Sword, Retribution, 2 Dimensional Barriers, and 2 T-Kobos, because T-Kobo is that one card that makes you rage because you can only control one type of a specific monster. Which absolutely sucks. I'm not going to lie. But yes, thank you everybody for watching this budget build to Fawn of Albaz Strike Structure Deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got something out of this and you guys actually liked it, enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like in the comment section below, or be sure to leave a like, comment in the comment section below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel for Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to smash that like button and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Hidden Angel Lionheart. I'm going to be doing another deck video after this because I'm actually feeling very energetic right now to doing some videos. And I actually wanted to brag and show off my new and improved Speedroid deck, which is what I'm going to be doing next after this. Till then, you guys be safe, take it easy, and till then, later days. This is Hidden Angel Lionheart, signing out. Yo.